Here we go.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. I'm here. I'm feeling a little bit more human. Not massively, but a little bit. How are you guys anyway? Let me know down below if you had yourselves a good Christmas. What are we talking about? I said we'd kind of let things settle, the dust settle on what's going on in the Liam Payne situation. So I did just that. We kept watching and seeing what was going on. And now I've got some things to say, because I think as time has progressed, we're starting to now see that things are even less how we think they should be. Let's look at it. What are we talking about in particular? We're talking about the way in which it would be deemed that someone is accountable for the demise of Liam Payne, what part they played, and due to the part that they played, how should they be punished for it? And I think that this has become extremely disjointed now, because on one hand, they're going sort of hard in the paint for the likes of Nathaniel and, and Brian, and, the people who they're saying were the suppliers of the things that they're trying to blame cause Liam's episode, if you like. But then you've got this caveat to that, which is almost like the toxicology suggestion that there was only trace amounts of these things, so they don't even go hand in hand with the volumes that we was discussing and being told had been acquired by Liam through these individuals. And then it could be argued that, hold on a second, but Liam Payne was not from Argentina. Rogelio Norris was from Argentina. He was kind of his main point of contact. He was the man. He was the for want of a better phrase, the manager then. And what was he exactly managing? He was managing to get Liam Payne into a situation that would almost certainly guarantee a catastrophic event. Now, could he have foreseen that it would be death that the catastrophic event would be? Because then you're going down a very different route. It's like what I said in the video before. Then you're not looking at manslaughter. You're not looking at abandonment of a person. You are looking at murder. Then you are putting someone in a position with the foresight of knowing that what you're doing to them is more than likely going to result in their death. Which it could be argued that Rogelio Norris had enough knowledge to know that what was being done and how it was being done was more likely than not going to end that way. There's so many questions. Why was Liam Payne put in the Casasio Palermo Hotel? Why was he put in a room on the third floor with a balcony? Why was he being facilitated, apparently, for getting these things that were known to have these catastrophic effects on Liam? Rogelio Norris coming out himself and saying that Liam Payne had to have been resuscitated on more than one occasion. He'd been in rehabilitation. He was a recovering addict. That's what we're going with. So even if we go along with that story, which I have difficulties with, but look, I'm going with it because let's just go with it for the purpose of looking at Rogelio Norris as an individual who, look, we hear manslaughter, and my initial thoughts were, well, that's good. But then I decided to take a step back and look at what that actually meant in terms of what do you get punished for then? And let's have a look at this, right? So the court endorsed the investigation and the evidence collected by the public prosecutor's office. The accused of homicide are the victim's representative and the manager and the head of the hotel reception. For the judge, they contributed to creating a risk that materialized in Payne's death. So they're basically saying between these individuals, they placed Liam Payne in a scenario that accumulated to multiple things and led to death. That's it. They're saying that he fell unconscious after trying to cross the railing of the balcony of the room. I find this very, very uncomfortable again because according to forensics, it is likely. It is likely. So they're not saying this is happened. We know this happened. They're saying it's likely. So they don't know. And if they don't know, it still brings into question, where the fuck is the footage then? The footage that was supposed to exist that would depict the actual event of the fall itself. Because without that footage, without it, I'm still of a mindset, did he fall? Because what proof is there that he fell? What proof is there that he actually fell if there's no evidence to support that? Because it could be argued that the injuries that he sustained, even though you could say that's compatible with a fall from height, it would also be compatible with being battered around the head with something, being stamped on, being, very difficult. Look, I don't work in forensics, so I could be talking through the back of my head. But the point being, 1 minute they've got a video that depicts the fall. That video seems to now not exist. And even this is stating it is likely that he fell due to this. But they're not saying he definitely did because we have proof to support that theory. But let's carry on, because this is the concern a bit. Look, down here. So Rogelio Norres, representative of the victim, and who also accompanied Payne on his trip to the city of Buenos Aires to get his American visa. Again, the hotel manager, JAM, and the head of the reception of the same ERG are the three defendants as perpetrators of a manslaughter, a crime contemplated in Article 84 of the Criminal Code, and that provides a penalty of 1 to 5 years in prison. So 1 to 5 years in prison with a 50 million pesos each, which is peanuts, especially for someone like Rogelio Norres, it's peanuts. It wouldn't be so much peanuts for someone who works in hospitality, but let's be honest. But you've got here, but then we're going down to like Brian and Ezekiel, and you're looking at 4 to 15 years in prison for these. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. How can you put these two individuals, Brian and Nathaniel, Ezekiel, fucking these people, how can you put them in a position where they're facing 4 to 15 years, right? But then the people who we see physically carrying Liam to his room that would result in his death, and Rogelio Norres, that was absolutely, in my opinion, of course, the main facilitator of everything that happened. Why wasn't Liam allowed to leave? Probably because the hotel was working under the instruction of Rogelio Norres. Let's not forget that the cashier, in one hand, they were saying that Rogelio Norres, they were trying to get hold of Rogelio Norres, and he was nowhere to be seen. Then it turns out that he's actually there an hour before Liam actually falls. And there's these convoluted stories of him coming and having to pay off escorts and these sort of things. There's apparently messages between Liam Payne and Rogelio himself where Liam Payne's apparently asking Rogelio for stuff. Now, Rogelio could have been a middleman, which seems to be the case here, but I don't understand how Rogelio Norres can then have, in effect, his charges have been downgraded to what? 1 to 5 years in prison. They're not being funny, but he could say he gets 1 year then. Is everybody going to feel happy about that? Is everybody going to wait and make sure that he actually does that year? Remember what Brian Harvey said. It could be a case of, you do something for us, you do this. You might have to fucking take some flack, take some heat for a short fucking while, but we'll make it worth your while. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking at something that's a year as opposed to fucking 15 years, you'd be surprised what people will do for certain things, for a certain reward. So it just feeds into this. There's something that just don't sit right here. Liam Payne, by all accounts, he seemed to be all right. He seemed to be all right. He was doing stuff. He was speaking to other people, and they seemed to think that he was all right. But then this inner circle of people, they seemed to suggest that he was fucking circling the drain. Liam Payne was circling the drain. That's what they want you to believe. But now we've got this fucking weird situation now where it looks like Rogelio Norris could fucking walk. He could walk. It's already been downgraded from, from the original accusation, which was, for the neglect, the negligence of an individual that leads to death. Again, we felt uncomfortable with that. We did feel uncomfortable with it. What is a difficult one. But this manslaughter, the penalty of 1 to 5 years, that's a bitter pill to swallow, especially when, we could be wrong. We could be wrong. How do we feel about it? I feel like the more I listen to it, the more I watch it, the more I feel that Liam Payne was turned over. I 100% feel, and it is only my opinion. My opinion is nothing. My opinion isn't fact. It's just the way that I look at things and what I think. And to me, it seems that Liam Payne had a bunch of people around him that pushed him into this corner, and he died. And even the base mechanics of it, like, did he genuinely fall over the balcony? We don't even have the answer to that. We don't have a definitive proof of it. We don't. Now, it may exist, but it doesn't seem to. Even in this, which is an official release, he possibly fell that way. This is what most likely happened. You can't fucking most likely. What happened? Did he fall? Did he not? If he fell, why did he fall? Who put him in the room? Why was he in the room? Who was facilitating everything that he was being facilitated? Why were they facilitating it? What was behind what happened to Liam Payne? Let me know down below how you feel, because at the moment, I just feel that we're all being turned over, just like Liam was, and people are going to walk away. I'll catch you all later on today. And if I don't see you before, have a fantastic New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, everyone. Live tomorrow as we see in 2025 with some predictions and look back over 2024. Take care. Mwah.